Yo, come on in. Come on in. Just want to make sure I'm on the right page. Hi, guys. How are you? How are you? Thank you for joining today's live. We definitely have a lot to talk about, a lot to get into, and I'm happy to have you joining us today. I mean, for those of you who've been asking and been wanting to be a part, we are still looking for people who want to take this on, who want to be a part, who want to talk about where, just basically what they're doing to get back to the community, how their art, how whatever gift they have is allowing them to, be better advocates for the community. We are here for it. So I'm literally in the process right now waiting for the guest of the night to come in. How you doing? How you doing? I guess I'll send him a message to let him know, hey, I'm waiting for you. But yes, we're doing this every night at 8 o'clock. So if you would like to tune in and be a part and join us, I would love to have you guys. I want to be able to speak to a plethora of different people, whether it be somebody in the front lines, whether it be somebody who has, who has a gift that they are, just willing to kind of share, So I'm definitely down for it all. Let me just remind homeboy that I'm waiting for him because I kind of am now, and I haven't seen him pop in yet. Let's just see. This is what happens when you do things alive, guys. You kind of get stuck. So I'm waiting to figure out what's up. I don't like having people waiting, but I definitely want to kind of get an idea. How are you guys doing? I see people coming in and coming out. How are you guys doing? How are you guys coping in the middle of this, this madness and this craziness? Yeah, I just wanted to see how are you guys doing? How are you guys coping? How are you getting through all of this craziness? I know it can definitely be a lot. But yeah. I definitely support. I definitely support all of you guys right now in whatever endeavors you're doing. Just know that I'm keeping you guys all in my prayers. We're gonna get through this together. So yeah, let's kind of make it happen. I think he's in here. Let's just see. Yeah, he's here now. I guess I do it from my side. Am I correct? I guess. I don't know what I sent. I'm sorry. You may. I guess I'm learning how to work this as we go along, y'all. So please bear with me.
Yo!
Hey, what is going on, my friend?
What's going on, Mr. Starks? How are you?
I'm okay. I'm coping. How are you doing?
Dude, it's crazy times right now, but we all just gotta deal with it right now. It is
Crazy that is. I've been on a rampage, but I digress. I'll talk more about it tomorrow, but I have literally been, I don't think I've ever been as mad as I am now
100%.
before. And
dude, it's just
yeah.
Dude, literally watching, like, I wasn't even watching that video, watching both videos actually, just watching both videos, like I was just so disgusted at the fact that, like, these are times that we're living in right now. Like, these are literally times that we're living. Like,
Yeah.
you read this stuff in history textbooks. And, like, it's mind-boggling that, like, we're still living through such oppressed times where you literally, an officer could just be sitting on somebody, another human being, somebody with a family, somebody
Yep.
with a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a daughter, a son, and just kind of callously throw their life away like that. Just
Yep.
callously throw that person's life away. And like, not even like, this dude had his hands in his pocket. On God, yo, I was talking to my friends about it. I was just like, yo, if I was there, I would have drop kicked him.
Mm-hmm.
Drop kicked him. I don't care. I don't care. Like, I would have dropped, like, the Asian dude's getting swung at. Yo, he's getting drop kicked just to give the other dude time to just, like, get up and, like, run away or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yo, this is so appalling. Like, this
Yeah.
is so appalling. Like, how? How can we live? And then when I see the thing in the park with the Amy Cooper,
Yeah.
that really just stung my soul because she knew exactly what she was doing.
Of course you did.
She knew that those words would be a trigger,
Mm-hmm.
and that, thank God, that guy had his cell phone.
Had it on record.
Because if he didn't, yeah.
And not only did she know what she was doing, but the fact that you acted this out, like you went from one level to the next as if this man was physically attacking you, to make it seem like it was something bigger than it was, because you didn't want to follow the rules that were already assigned. It was already a written rule there that you decided, fuck, I'm not going to do it because I don't have to. And then somebody checks you, and all of a sudden, they're threatening your life.
Like how did that escalate? Like, that's what I want to know.
And for me, I think what pisses me off so much is that you were willing to ruin this man's life so much that you were willing to kill your dog to ruin his life. Like, at that point in your mind, that dog was nothing, because you felt in your heart and in your soul that you had the power to take somebody else's life into your hands and do whatever you want with it.
Dude,
you know what I mean? And
like,
when I say the level of frustration has been like mind-boggling, and when people comment on certain things or tell me how desensitized they are to what's going on, it's just like, bruh, you are just part of what makes this problem worse. You know what I mean? The fact that you could literally watch somebody die, be killed, be lynched, and for you it's like, well, that happens all the time. What the fuck is that even what is that even supposed to mean? And the fact that we become so overshadowed by, like, oh yeah, whatever, it's cool, I'm gonna go eat breakfast now, it baffles me. It really baffles me. And like, another thing that was really pissing me off, even watching the video, is that no one jumped in to help. You know what I mean? As far as, listen, this is it. This man, like, if we gotta fight for this, we gotta fight for this. Like, is it really 50 fucking cameras filming somebody be killed? Like, there's nobody there to say, hey, we gotta do something. We gotta do that shit right now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
not gonna lie. I 100% agree with you. I 100% agree with you. Like, if you could take out your camera, you can obviously make that decision to go and help out. But I can understand why somebody wouldn't, simply because, what is this conversation about? Yo, we're talking about the recent civil war on the area. We're talking about the Amy Cooper, and we're talking about the George Floyd situation. But I could see why somebody would not want to interject, because I thought that was the first thing I thought about. I was just like, yo, wait, why are people not jumping in? Why? Those guys are armed. And while they're armed and while they have the power, they might do something that they might not necessarily have to regret. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was there, I'm a black male or whatever, or half black or whatever the case may be. They don't care. They could pull out a gun and shoot me. Oh, this guy jumped on top of me, or this guy attacked me. They could pull out a gun. I mean, they shot Trayvon Martin for a bag of Skittles. Like, they can pull out a gun and shoot me. So that's what got me dead in my tracks. Like, look, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna beg them. I'm gonna plead them. Like, yo, get off this man. Get off this man. But once I put my hands on them, they can shoot me. They can shoot me. They can turn around and say, I felt threatened. And that's all they have to say.
Right.
I would have just given them another reason to shoot another black person. I mean, some people, not everybody can really think like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? Like, I mean, I got my mom, I got my dad, you know, I got my grandfather, got my brother. Like, I don't think that, you know, I mean, personally, they just wouldn't, I'm sure looking back on it, they would be like, why did he kind of like, you know, risk his life? Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so sad and it's so unfortunate, but it starts with the system. It really starts with the system, you know. Like we don't get their attention until we start
This
banging on
happens.
doors.
Right.
We don't get their attention until we start banging on doors. You know what I'm talking about? It's the same thing with sales. Like, yeah, you can put out an ad or whatever keeps me, but until you're in people's face, and this dates back to business. I always relate everything to business just because like that's just kind of how my mind works. But like until you're in people's face, that's when they get the message.
Right.
So you just gotta
Or like I always say, take away what's gonna hurt the most. Our support, our money, our business. You know what I'm saying? There needs to be some unification somewhere. And like I was saying on a previous live, you know, as enraged as I am, as hurt as I am, as much as I want to get up and I want to go fight and I want to do something, I realize I'm not a killer. You know what I mean? I'm not a killer. And for me, violence begets violence. And sometimes, you know, you gotta think before you act. And as much as in this moment, as much as I truly believe in everything that Martin Luther King said, you know, in peaceful rallies, whatever. But the spirit of Malcolm X was sitting in a boy's throat. Like, I'm ready to do what I got to do. You know what I mean? And you know, a lot of times, you know, you feel like, you know, you want to do like and go towards, you know, getting this system together. But how can we get a system together that is built against us? You understand what I'm saying? Like,
100%.
how do we get in? How do we get in there and tell them that, listen, we matter. You're not going to tell me all lives matter, but black people. We're not going to do that. We're not going to continually think that's a thing. That is not a thing, and we're not going to allow that. But how can we do that when we're living in the time right now where a lot of these KKK members are the system? You know what I mean? They're in the system. Their sons, their daughters are in the system. So instead of them walking around in white face masks and attacking us, they're attacking our pockets. You know what I'm saying? They're attacking our businesses. They're attacking our life force. They're in hospitals. So they get to choose whether we live or die. So when is enough enough? Like, what do you think we can do to start somewhere? Because boycotts, protests, wearing shirts are only going to get us so far, you know?
I mean, of course, I'm no lawyer. I'm no political advocate. I'm just, you know, I'm just a kid from Brooklyn. Um, it really comes down to just, I feel like me personally, what really gets their attention is just kind of being in their face. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like, what was the Civil War? The Civil War was a riot where we fought back to get a certain level of independence.
Right.
That shook the nation up. That shook the nation up. That said, like, look, we're not playing anymore. We're not asking. We're telling you. You know what I'm talking about? Because
Mm-hmm.
asking only gets so far. You know, playing nice
Right.
gets so far. You know, we're treated based on what we allow. That was always my motto. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's something my mom taught me. Like we show people how we want to be treated by based on what we allow. You know, if you
Yeah.
know if it's a husband and wife, and like you want your husband to wash the dishes, but you tell him and then you go around and do it. You know, you're not really telling him how you want to be treated, but you turn if you just leave it there and he gets them, and then one day he wants to get like a bowl of cereal or something, there's no bowls to do, or there's no bowls to eat with, he gonna realize that, oh yeah, it's because I didn't do the dishes that my wife told me to do. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about? So
Right.
it's more like it's not like we have to demand, not ask. We have to demand not only that, but we have to move in a way where they're not where we have to show them the respect that we deserve. You know what I'm talking about? Perhaps we
I
could reach
agree.
out to a congressman and literally stalk the police. I mean, I'm reading the comments. I'm reading the comments that
I
they.
was like, who was he talking to? Okay, copy.
I mean, nah. I'm reading. You can't see them.
I see them now. I
Oh,
wasn't paying them attention. I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm like in the conversation, so I'm sorry.
right. No, I just wanted to read the comments just in case it was something that we should touch upon. But it's really, dude. It's honestly like it's not gonna stop because think about it like this. Think about it like this. This isn't the first time this happened, correct?
Not at all.
This isn't the first time that happened. In 2 weeks, half of America is gonna forget about this. Let's
And
like let's be real.
but that's the sick part, is that we are so like, we are such a culture where things can happen to us and we will rally for a week, maybe two, and then it's just like, all right, back to the way things were. You know what I
Right,
mean?
exactly. It's the same thing with the pandemic. Like a lot of people lost their homes, a lot of people lost their jobs, a lot of people lost. I mean, my business is on froze right now, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people go after this whole thing. People not gonna be saving money. People still gonna be partying every night. People still gonna be spending money on stupid stuff. Like they just gonna still they gonna go back to the way it was. History repeats itself. History repeats itself. You know, we
Right.
just came out of a recession. Now we're gonna be coming back in one. History repeats itself. So until like people just stop and say like, look, there's got to be a change. It's gonna be the same thing. Actually, no, I'll leave for now.
Is it your phone dying?
It's on 20%, but it's alright. I'll wait till it gets to 10.
True black people stuff. Heard. I copy. I definitely copy. But the point of me having you, I love this conversation. But the point of me having you join us today was to definitely just highlight all of who you are, get people to know what you do, who is B-Rye, what is BK Event Spaces. So, in a couple of words, can you just tell some of the viewers who you are and what you do?
Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Brian, aka B-Rise, what my friends call me. I am a young business person, young entrepreneur. I do have event spaces. Maybe if you are located in NYC, you've been to one of my event spaces, BK Event Spaces. That's at BK Event Spaces. We do host venues, two venues in Brooklyn, one in Albany, and another one on New Lots in Ashford Street. Two beautiful venues, if I do say so myself. Two absolutely gorgeous venues. We also have a rental company where we also have a rental company where we deliver event furniture and whatnot. So definitely heavily in the oh, she was saying hi to you, my fault. Where we deliver event furniture and whatnot. I also just recently started a YouTube channel. That's just more for like creative expression. I just be, doing random stuff, chatting to people, vlogging, whatever the case may be. But
Mm-hmm.
that's just it. That's just it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's definitely some very commendable.
What's
That
up?
somebody at a young age was passionate about just kind of wanting to do something that big. For you, what motivated you to even want to um, found an event space? What came through your mind when you said, "Hey, this is where it's at. This is what I want to do." What made you want to do that?
Yo, my parents are both immigrants, right? Both my parents came from an other country, and
Mm-hmm.
they had very very humble beginnings. Like my mom came here with like $100. My dad came here with yeah, your camera flipped. My mom came here with like $100. My dad barely came here with a couple $100, and they made names for themselves. They just kind of bootstrapped everything, and they made names for themselves. Nothing was ever given to them.
Mm-hmm.
No silver spoon was given, no silver platter. Like they really had to work hard to be where they are. So at the forefront is really just heritage and lack of real pride, because like I don't want to let my parents down. I don't want to let my parents down, and I don't want to be dependent on them to the point where it's just like they kind of feel like, what did they sacrifice to give me so that I could be somebody. The reason I
Right.
went to business is because I'm a little insubordinate. I don't really like listening to people, but it's more than that. It's more like just providing change, kind of doing things on my own terms, giving jobs to people, just really making an impact. I went into venues simply because my mom had a smaller space. After college, I was taking care of it for a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
then I really started to enjoy it. That's why I always tell people. My advice to everybody is, try different things. Try different things. You may think you like something, just try different things. Especially when you're younger, you have nothing to lose. Just always try different things. You never know what you'll really enjoy. So I found out that I really had a passion for it. Just people come into my venues, people having events. I mean, Courtney, you had your 30th birthday. I'm sure you had a blast. Your girlfriend was so sweet. She was so sweet. She just really wanted to go all out for you. So that's just really what it's all about. Like, honestly, there are times where like I hate it so much because it's just like people, they want this or they want that, or they don't want to, they don't want to abide by the rules. But at the end of the day, when all the dust settles and everything just kind of, everything just kind of opens up beautifully, you just got to sit back and just enjoy it. You just gotta sit
Right.
back and enjoy it. So a 9 to 5 not gonna do that for you. A 9 to 5, you're making somebody else rich. Business,
Heard.
business is what 85% of our business of American commerce is small business.
Mm-hmm.
85% of American commerce is small business. Without small business, all we have is these big conglomerate companies that really don't care about the average consumer. You know what I'm
That's
talking
true.
about? And I mean, me personally, like people always ask me, like, "Yo, B-Rod, like, what would you do if you had $1 million?" A part of that is I really just want to start a foundation where I can assist in some way small businesses because I feel like small businesses are so important. Small businesses are just small businesses just kind of make the world go around. Small businesses allow people to innovate. Small businesses allow people to express themselves. Small businesses allow people to create. Small businesses just allow people to make an impact for themselves and make a name for themselves. There's a lot of times I'm walking around in Brooklyn and people are just like, "Hey, do you have a venue?" And I'm just like, "Yeah," or I might be buying something, right?
Yeah.
I was at Dollar Tree and I was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm just picking up some flowers." They're just like, "Oh, what do you know? What are you doing?" I'm just like, "Oh, I'm doing a setup." They're just like, "Oh, I went to an event in that same spot on Fulton and Albany, blah 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 blah." And it's a lot of people who they've been kind of influenced by my business,
Yeah.
but they just don't know who I am. They don't know
Mm-hmm.
who Brian Waldron is. They've just been influenced by my business, and it's tough. It's really dope just kind of seeing people. It's just tough, being able to touch so many lives just so unequivocally without them even knowing. And I just want to continue to do that, and I want to help other people. I'm actually, in regards to the business, we actually just launched a new program. It is the venue launch program. If you are interested in opening up your own, shameless plug here, shameless plug.
No, go ahead. It was funny that you said that because I'm like, I didn't even get a chance to even talk to you about it yet because you went right into it. So keep going. Talk about it.
Yeah, so we just started a brand new program called the Venue Launch Program. Basically, if you are interested, Nikia Dallas, yo Nikia, holla at me. I'm here. DM me or something. If you are interested in opening up your own venue or your own event space, contact us. We are starting a program, the Venue Launch Program. It's June 7th and June 14th, 2 Sundays and subsequently. We're going to be going into everything. We're going to be going into contracts. We're going to be going into inquiries. We're going to be going into marketing. We're going to be going into finance. We're going to be going into business management. There's so many gurus on Instagram, and I tell people this all the time. I caution people to others all the time. Like, do not submit yourself to purchasing a class or joining a session or jumping on a webinar with somebody that you do not know what they have. Like, you do not know what they do. Like, people can be like, "Oh yeah, I turned $200 to $5,000 to e-commerce." Like, you don't know this person, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what this person is. Don't think just because they stand with a bunch of packages or because they're showing you a website with tons of sales like that they're about it. Like, there are a lot of people who just catfish. There are a lot of people who just cap, and it's just people, when they go on my page, they can see my venues. They can see the events that they've done. They can see the rental setups. They can see the people that they interact with. I tag all my vendors. Like, they can see we're the real deal, which is why I feel like so many people have gravitated to our new program. So guys, if you are interested in having a venue, you're in the process of getting a venue started up, or even if you already have a venue, guys, if you already have a venue, like, you're never too intelligent to learn something. That's one thing I always say. I always enjoy learning. Courtney can teach me something. My mom can teach me something. My friend could teach me something. Never be too jaded. Never be too obsessed with yourself that you can't learn something. So definitely.
Well, that was something else that I was going to ask you too, because I wanted to ask, like, what do you think some misconceptions of actually running your own business are? I know there's a lot of things down the road that are, what you said, is misleading, misguiding, untrustworthy, and it kind of gives people in a rut. Now, not so much for the person who wants to attend the event, but the person who's like sitting at home right now, who wants to kind of get into the business of renting out spaces and getting an opportunity. What do you say to them?
Yo, I would honestly say stop thinking and start doing. So many people get caught in something called analysis paralysis, where it's really like you're constantly thinking, okay, I'm going to drop a business plan. Okay, I'm going to read a book. I'm going to talk to my mentor. I'm going to contact the bank. And they're just constantly just spinning their wheels, and they're never actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The key with successful entrepreneurs is that they do it. They jump in and they fucking do it. They stop talking and they start doing it. Like, that's the only way you're going to learn. You have to learn practically. You can't read a bunch of articles online and think that you're going to get something that's practical. You're not going to talk to a bunch of people and think that you're going to understand something practical. You put it into motion, you get started, you get the ball rolling, And then along the way, you start talking like, yo, Brian, how do I do this thing with my venue? Yo, Courtney, how do I get started with this podcast? Like, while you're working, you're learning. You're not learning, and then I'm gonna start working, because by the time you start working, you done forgot everything that you already talked about. Yo, what's good, bro? You already forgot everything you talked about. That's why me with reading, like, I can show you guys my library. Like, I have tons of books, but like the thing about it is that once I read a book, I don't stop there. You know, I'm gonna read it again. I'm gonna underline. I'm gonna jot down notes because I know it's gonna apply to myself in another situation down the line. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm not getting obsessed with learning and constantly just kind of spinning my wheels. I'm out there doing it. I'm doing the same thing, and that's what a lot of entrepreneurs get stuck at. They get caught in analysis paralysis. You know what I'm talking about?
But what about like the planning? You know what I mean? Like, and I think you'll probably be discussing this in your venue launch program. But as much and as I know, I'm like that as well. Like, I'd rather go do, and because we rather go do, a lot of times we do a lot of the front work, and then our back work suffers, and we kind of need to make that up. So for you, someone who now has 3 different locations, how did you plan? Because I know it wasn't just, I'm gonna jump out here, I'm gonna do it. Because a lot of times that's how we fail. You know, we don't plan. So when we're trying to execute, we have nothing to fall back on. How did you plan in getting as far as you've gotten? As you know, like, you know, documentation wise, what step did you have to take, if you could talk about that?
So one thing you got I just lost my train of thought, like I just went blank. But one thing that you have to look at is that with business, you're always dealing with risk. My bro is showing how. Yo, what's good, bro? Like, you have with business, you have to understand you're always dealing with risk. Like, there's never not risk. You never have zero risk. There's always risk. So you have to understand that, yeah, I might lose all this money. Period. Like, you have to understand that off the bat. Whenever it comes to business, comes to investment, be excuse me, be comfortable with the fact that you may lose this money. Now, how do we not lose this money? So in terms of planning, you definitely want to plan. You definitely want to read up. You definitely want to get some information, but not to the point where it's detrimental and you're not putting anything into play. I would say definitely talk to people who are already doing it, you know? Talk to people who are already learning. Talk to many people who are in the thing, you know? Like they always say, if you would not swap bank accounts with that person, why are you listening to them? Period. If you would not change places with that person, why are you listening to them, you know? I would swap bank accounts with my mother in a heartbeat. My mother is the most intelligent person I know. So her opinion I value. I would talk to her about something. And then when I go listen to her, then okay, cool. Now I have something to go on. So I'm going to talk to a couple people. I'm going to write down a little plan. Your business plan should be no more than a page. People be doing 15 freaking page business plans and something like that. Your business plan, if it takes 15 pages to explain your business plan, it's too fucking complicated. Your business plan should be no more than a page. You have your business plan. You have a timeline. Okay, cool. Like, for example, when I got my first space, I told myself, all right, cool. I want to have this much money saved up before I open up my second space. I had that conversation with myself when I was about 21. I had my first event space. I came out of college. I told myself, all right, cool. I want 40 grand in the bank before I open up my second space. I'll have enough for build out. I'll have enough for acquisition costs. I'll have enough money for operating capital, and I'll be able to do the damn thing. You know what I'm talking about? By the time I got to my third venue, I already knew a lot. So the timeline was a lot quicker. Now it's like, all right, cool. I know exactly what I need, because it's a learning curve, you know? I know what I need to be successful. That's it. I know exactly what I need to be successful. So now the business plan is even shorter. Now the business plan is, all right, cool. We're putting less money into build out because we know exactly what we need to do. And we're putting a little bit more money into advertising because now we know exactly what people want. So now every time it's an iteration cycle. So to answer your question, Courtney, in terms of like, all right, getting started and like, you know, how do you make that move? You talk to people, definitely be talking to people who are already in that niche. Appreciate you, bro. Talk to people who are already in that niche, read up about it, have a short business plan, and then just do it. Do not get caught in the planning stage. Just do it.
So, in order to continue the business that you already started, I'm not too sure if you have, but have you now partnered with somebody?
I have not. No, I own 100% of the business. What we are actually, this is another minor announcement, but it's what we are going to be started doing soon is we are going to be offering the ability to license out BK event spaces. So we already have 2 venues. So what we're going to be offering is that if people want to operate under our name and under our brand instead of doing it on their own, they can do that. So it'll be like, so you'll adopt all our systems. I'm gonna build an app for the business, so you're gonna be able to use our app for your clientele. You're already gonna have the name, so you're already gonna have clientele out the door. It's kind of like Dunkin' Donuts, but for the venue industry. You know what I'm talking about?
Copy.
So you're gonna be able to use all our systems. You're gonna have me personally mentoring you. You're gonna have all our systems, all our apps. You're gonna have access to our newsletter, our clientele, and you're not gonna be starting from scratch like everybody else. You're not gonna be starting from scratch like everybody else. You know what I'm talking about? Now, hold on, let me get my charger.
Told you, black people wait for the 3% to want to get their charger. If you guys are going to be coming in on a One with Courtney Starks and being a guest on the show, please make sure your phone is charged.
Oh my God, dude, don't do me like that.
8 p.m.
Don't do me like
your
that.
phone should be on 100%.
Dude, I was on like 4 FaceTime calls today, man.
Bruh, I've been up all day talking to people, laughing with people trying to make, tell me how I should feel. So I definitely hear what you, but can you talk about, and I feel like, I love your passion and I feel your passion. I feel like a lot of times, if you're not passionate about this shit, you shouldn't be doing it. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? If it's not something that you eat, breathe, and sleep, it's nothing that you shouldn't be doing. If doing it is causing you distress, it's angering you, it's putting you in a place where you're like, fuck this, you shouldn't be doing it. Absolutely. And I love the fact that you are so passionate about what you are doing. And it speaks so much volume. Can you tell us a time where you may have, failed or dropped the ball, and how did you recover?
Damn, let me pick one. Shoot, a time that I dropped the ball, dude. There was like a really rough time with the venues where I did not want to be in venues anymore. Like literally, like everything was hitting the wall. My freaking AC broke. My central air broke down. My freaking like the sewer had backed up, and I just really realized that like I was just in over my head. I realized that I was in over my head because I was trying to offer the venues. I was trying to do decor. I had like 4 rents to pay. And I just realized that like, yo, this is a bad way to manage a business. Like a lot of people think that like, the more you do, the more successful you do, blah, 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 blah. But I read a book called The One by Gary Keller from Keller Williams Realty. And he said on the first page, if you chase 2 rabbits, you'll catch neither one fast. Right. And that, like, right away, I was just like, yeah, I'm doing too much. Like, literally, that's what it is.
It's true.
And I realized that I did drop the ball in terms of managing my business. I wasn't managing it well. I wasn't being smart about it. I wasn't going about it intelligently. So it was just kind of like, I realized I needed to step back before I could move forward. You know what I'm talking about? I had to step back before I could move forward because there was no way I was going to be successful by just keep on chasing more and more and more and more and more, and then leaving everything out. I was just dangling too many plates in the air and they were all going to crash.
So like did it come to a point where you're like, listen, I just got to deal with one thing at a time and 100%. Then allow it to get to its place?
100%. I had to close a venue. I ended up closing a venue. I completely shut down one of my venues. Yeah. I made it into something else and I just shut down one of my venues because I'm just like, this is not working out the way I intended it to. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? And that's just the way. As a business person, you have to adapt. Yeah. As a business person, you have to adapt. You have to cut corners. You have to know how to execute. You have to know. And I'm not saying I'm the perfect business person. I'm not by any means. I'm 24 years old. Like I'm still figuring this shit out. But it's really just kind of like you have to be able to learn. You have to be willing to adapt. You have to be willing to take advice. You have to be willing to take advice because if everybody's telling you no and you just keep saying yes, it's well, more specifically, if everybody's telling you like, because you should never listen to everybody if everybody's telling you shouldn't do something. But if all the cards are pointing to, look, this is not working out, you need to be able to reassess. It's that simple. Like it's that, and like that was something for me. Like it was hard. That was my baby. I had to what is that?
I don't know. Sorry.
I had to realize that, you know, before this whole shit sinks, I gotta start plugging up these holes.
Mm-hmm. Right. And sometimes, you know, that's hard. Like, I'm now 31 and I'm still going through spots and times where I'm just like, yo, I waited too long to plug these holes up, and now I'm, you know, I'm rushing and doing things
Yeah,
to get these shit, so, you know, to be okay. And I like what you said about basically owning up to your stuff, owning up and holding yourself accountable to what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so glad you said it, because the key with accountability, and I really want everybody like to understand this. The key to accountability is, yes, you must hold yourself accountable, but you can't beat yourself up.
Right.
You have to hold yourself accountable, but you cannot beat yourself up. Because if you're always beating yourself up, you're never gonna make that step. You're never gonna make that step to do something and to keep going with it. You have to hold yourself accountable. But at the same time, know that you're gonna just have to get your ass back up and do the damn thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. And another thing that I love about what you do is that you do it for yourself. So you're not in it trying to make it trying to get everybody else's opinion on what your stuff is supposed to look like. And I feel like a lot of times as entrepreneurs, for those of you who are just joining in, as entrepreneurs, we find ourselves trying to please every single person. You know, oh, you don't like that? Well, I'll change it. Oh, you don't want that? Well, I'll fix that. No, a lot of times you can't run your business or manage your brand that way. Not everybody's going to like what you produce, but I promise you, whatever you're giving, if it's wholeheartedly, it's going to serve its purpose, regardless of who likes it.
The right people will come to you 100%. The right people will come to you
all the time. So I know you spoke a little bit about it, but people who are just joining in, right? This venue launch program, what inspired you to want to do that?
So the venue launch program was basically started by, I know a lot of people are in a position right now with their lives, as have I, where they're realizing that, look, my job isn't as safe as I thought it was. My business isn't as safe as I thought it was. My life isn't as safe as I thought it was, you know? So people are realizing more and more that they definitely need more and more streams of income. And the great thing about owning a venue is that it's relatively passive income, where it's just like, where it's generally like, you know, you can bring people together and you can impact an industry without having to disrupt an industry, you know?
Right.
Like, you can impact an industry without having to disrupt an industry. Anybody can open up a venue. Anybody can be a successful venue owner. It's not rocket science. There's a lot of information you're gonna need to know. There's a lot of sweat equity you're gonna have to put in, but it's not rocket science. Anybody can do it. Anybody with the willingness and drive can do it. That's really it. So I mean, the venue launch program is a step-by-step course. It is a step-by-step course. We take you step 1, step 2, ba 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 ba. It's a step-by-step course. We give you all the tools that you need to start a successful venue. Now, of course, execution is on you. Execution is on you, because everything is execution. Like, we can give you all the tools, doesn't mean that you're gonna knock the nail in right. You know what I'm talking about? Like, we can supply the tools, but at the same time, you have to execute. You have to know what's right for you. You have to make the right moves, because we're not going to be with you every time of the week, which is why I'm excited about starting to license BK event spaces out soon, because at least with that way, you know, you can have that hand-in-hand mentor. You know, you can have that partner. You can have that partner that I never had. You can have that partner saying, like, look, don't make that decision. Don't do that. You know, invest your money in this. A big thing with business is capital allocation. A big thing with business is capital allocation. Like, where do I put this money? You know what I'm talking about? I have $10,000. Do I invest more in advertising? Do I invest in new furniture? Like, that's really where it is. So I'm excited about the new licensing program. I've been talking to my lawyer about it. We're gonna get things up and running, and hopefully some people take advantage of it. But that's definitely like the next step after the venue launch program. I really just wanted to launch that, just, you know, people have more of an idea of this unfamiliar industry. People more have an idea of like what's really entailed, what's really involved. And anybody who's, you know, really just wanted a venue, for every event planner, every rental company, every cake designer who's just really wanted their own venue has the opportunity.
Oh, that's dope. And I hope for those of you who have been tuning in that you take this seriously. You know, a lot of us kind of hear these things and we ignore them, and then you have a million questions after the fact. Support this young man. He's amazing. One question, well, I think two questions before we go. What are you under? Because a lot of people are confused whether, in regards to getting an LLC or a nonprofit or a sole proprietorship. What are you under, and why did you choose it?
I went with a corporation simply because it's slightly more protection, and LLC is tied to you directly. It's tied to you directly. Like it's almost synonymous with you. A corporation is a separate entity. So I can be Brian Waldron, that's BK Event Spaces. I can have my company under BK Event Spaces. I can have my insurance under BK Event Spaces. It's just a way to mitigate risk, really. So I have the corporations for each venue, and then I have the corporations. This guy said I'm a rapper / entrepreneur. I'm crying. And I can have my insurance under. I can have my bills under it. While I'm still my own entity, I can go out and start something else. I can do something else, and they're not coexisting together.
Right.
That's why it's really just about protection. But there's everybody, depending on your business, it depends on what entity you want to go with. I went with Swift Filings. It was a lot.
Easier.
I am a YouTuber. I don't know.
We're gonna get into that, guys. Don't ask him more questions. And if you do have any questions for him, please put them in the question box. I'll shoot them to him because he likes to talk ahead of my questions. So please let me, the host, give him the questions. So you have any, I would love to give him and answer them for you. But yeah, what first of all, I gotta say, I love that you're so well-rounded. And even though it's for fun and for kicks and for laughs, what made you want to start this YouTube page? Because it's definitely funny as fuck, I gotta say.
Dude, honestly, I feel like nobody's one-dimensional. You know what I'm talking about? I feel like nobody's one-dimensional, and that's my biggest thing with my platform. I don't want I love business. I love business. I watch Shark Tank and The Profit almost every single day. I love reading, talking about business. I can talk for hours about business. But at the same time, I'm a young man and I like to go out. I like to have fun. I like to joke. I like to party. Things like that.
You're 24,
right, exactly.
People don't think that.
So I don't want people putting me in a box where it's just all right, cool. He's all regimented. He's all serious. Blah 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 blah. Because he talks about business. I genuinely love going out, having fun, vlogging, talking to girls or whatever the case may be. I'm a young man. I just want to document it exactly like Brandon said. I just want to document it on YouTube. It's fun. I might have somebody, over at my house and we're just talking about, relationships and things like that. And I want to film it and I want to put it out there, what I'm talking about. So I feel like everybody, there's nobody who could tell me big business people don't have don't have lives, can't have.
Right.
I see LeBron James. LeBron James is a basketball player. He'd be making TikToks with his family online and stuff like that. He's also a business owner. He's a steak owner in Blaze Pizza. He's a steak owner in Nike. People can be well-rounded, and I really don't like the fact that when people try to put people in a box, oh, you do beauty, you can only talk about beauty. You talk you talk about cars, you can only talk about cars. I'm never gonna be that type of person. You know what I'm talking about? I'm never gonna be that type of person where it's just everything's about business. Everything's about having fun. Nah, you have to have a balance in your life, and I'm just here to showcase it on my YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. So in all of this, what message can you give to the people in regards to just, having a business, maintaining that business, and loving what you do at the same time?
When you're going into a business, a lot of people will tell you, do what you love. Fuck that shit. Do not do what you love. Do what you're good at and find something to love about it, because that's what's going to keep you in business. Period. That's what's going to keep you in business. If you are thinking about business, do not catch analysis paralysis. Do not catch analysis paralysis. Do not get stuck in a zone where you're constantly planning. Just do that thing. You want to start teaching people how to speak Spanish? Start teaching people how to speak Spanish. The business plan will come. It'll figure itself out. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
It's really, you can't get caught up in these little things. And one thing, please do not get caught. As you can see, I'm a very extroverted person. I can talk. I don't care who's watching, blah, 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 blah. Do not get worried about what everybody's going to think. Because when you're at the top, they can't say nothing about you. You're at the top. They down there.
Right.
You're at the top. What can they say to you? You know what I'm talking about? So it's just kind of like, you can't get caught up in what everybody's saying right now. Like right now, I'll put it out there. I only have 190 subscribers on YouTube. There are people with 100,000 subscribers, a million, 10 million. I only have 191 subscribers, but I know I'm going to get there one day. And I appreciate I appreciate every 191 subscribers like they were our own family, because they took the time to invest in me as a person, and they're down for the ride now. So you can't, just because somebody, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, they don't support you, doesn't mean you should not do it. Go do that shit because you want to do that. And you're going to find out soon if it's for you or not. You know what I'm talking about? And only you can make that decision for you, period.
That's good. That's definitely good. One thing to leave you guys with, it's okay to start small. You know, a lot of people want to get to the grand prize before even kind of opening the box. You want to just dig in it already. Like, you have to start somewhere. You know what I mean? A lot of us have to start somewhere. You know, like he was saying, he had 190 subscribers. When I first started doing anything Courtney's Corner, I literally had 3 people rocking with me. You feel me? 3 people. You know, and now it's expanded to something greater than myself. You know, start small. I always say this. I started in my kitchen having conversation, and we've made it to, you know what I'm saying, we've made it far. We now have space to invite studio audiences. So don't be scared to start somewhere and just work it and build your way up. And don't be afraid to take your climb. Don't be afraid to build your climb. Like he was saying earlier, a lot of people aren't going to support you, and that's okay. Your focus behind what you're doing shouldn't be so that mommy, daddy, best friend is rocking with you and supporting you. You need to be able to do this for you and know that at the end of the day, you know, this is what I want to do, and this is where I see myself going at the end of this. My man Brian, it's always a pleasure talking to you. You are a true. You are what we talk about when I say epitomizing, you know, Black excellence and Black culture, and we're thankful to have you on the show. For those of you who tuned in, I've said this over and over again. If you are a business owner, you are a motivational speaker, you're a singer, you're a rapper, and you're doing something to give back to your community, or you're doing something positive in the lives of others, please reach out. We want to highlight you. We want to give you your flowers now and not wait to talk about you after you're gone. We want to be able to just have this conversation. It is very, very important that people know who you are. Before we go, can you just tell people where they can find more about you, where they can look you up, so that way they know? If you want to write it, you can write it, and then I'll pin it for them to see.
Yeah, let me comment. Actually, I'll do it after. Yo, guys, if you want to chat more, yo, send me a DM. He pinned my, actually, yeah, just right there. You already did. Just my DM is right there. Just pin my DM right there. Just hit me up on the DM. Hit me on the DM. I'm open. I'm always open to talk to people. Join late, but thanks. Join late, but this actually helped. No, it's all good, bro. I have no problem. Like, I talk to people all the time. Like, I'm not afraid to talk to people. Like, people talk about like stranger danger. I'm a grown ass man. Like, it's not that serious. Like, there are people who I've legit met on Instagram who are cooler with me now than some of the people that I've met in person. Like, do not be afraid to meet new people. That's really, like, you never know who can help you. You never know who's going to be your biggest fan. You never know who's going to be your biggest supporter. So, guys, like, if you want to talk business, talk YouTube, talk anything. I'm just a regular kid from Brooklyn. You know, I'm just a regular kid from Brooklyn, but I'm always down to talk. Hit me up. I'm home. It's coronavirus. We ain't gonna, you know, talk about. We are home. So
yes, sir. Once again, guys, thank you for joining One with Courtney Starks. It premieres every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Yes, sir.
We have an amazing guy next week who makes healthy shakes, healthy drinks, and is willing to going to talk about how he ventured into that journey. I look forward to having you. Please follow Starks Going Crazy or Courtney's Corner 89 to get more information, to be a part of what makes this all great. I love you. I thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.